come see where we live. It's time to go inside out of the wind.
Come on in.
Here we go.
So when you first come in, it is our kitchen area, and we are really, really loving this area for taping. We can tape from either angle. It is a lot of space, and one of the things I really love about it is these countertop. It makes it seamless. Pieces that cover the sink and then also the stove, so that gives us extra counter space for crock pots, all of our foodies, the Instant Pot, all that kind of stuff. But it also gives us space. Both of them are taping, and then also I think, well, I don't think it's in there right now, it also hides dishes.
I just did the dishes, so there's nothing in there
if you need to. So we have lots of cabinets. Probably one of my dislikes maybe is that the cabinets are all mostly super high.
Put your arms up in the air.
No.
Because you can see how tall that cabinet is right there.
Yes.
That's like the stuff we don't use as much, or like the extra storage.
That's storage. And then behind you is, you can open those. I mean, stuff is probably moved around, but that's where we can handle like extra slow cookers, our casserole crock, extra pots and stuff, and then the Instant Pot.
That aura,
yes, yeah. I can never say. So, and then this is the cabinet that no longer is allowed to have pasta sauce in it. So there's that. There's drawers and cabinets all through here.
Oh yeah, there is so much storage in this thing.
Yes, I have stuff down on the floor, just kind of that we take with us and everything. But these drawers are silverware, kitchen.
All our kitchen gadgets.
Stuff,
extra.
bowls.
That's where the bowls go. So we kind of set it up to where I don't mind doing the dishes, so I will wash them and rinse them, and then Cris puts them away. And then if like she's not here and I've got dishes I need to put away, I'm still learning where they go.
So we also have the oven, which I haven't used. I know Mom used it quite a bit and liked it just fine. A nice bigger size microwave, and then of course my lovely refrigerator.
That right there was completely worth the upgrade, because instead of storing like a week's worth of food,
yes,
and then having to use it so it doesn't go bad, especially in the fridge part, and having a dinky little freezer section.
We made it work, man. We really made it.
We did.
I don't mean to run down. We are very excited about all the upgrades that we have now.
What we're trying to say is we lived in that smaller camper for a very long time, so I know that we could survive the apocalypse, but now we can survive the apocalypse in style.
We're comparing things because the vibe is what we knew, and I'm so grateful for it getting us on the road, and
Absolutely.
It was exactly what we needed. This is a whole different world for us. It is allowing us to get so much work done and be able to do and really get excited about some of the content that we're creating for you guys. So I'm excited about that, because a bigger fridge means more recipe testing. Yesterday I developed 3 new recipes. So we're really, really excited about that. But one of the things about switching rigs is at least from an organization standpoint, and also how I got in trouble with the spaghetti sauce, is all the old things that you used to do. You might think you know how it all works, but you've got to change up some things. So here's an example of a place I'm still kind of struggling with. One, I don't need a TV this big, first of all, because we don't ever really watch TV, but we have a TV. But this cabinet in the Vibe was like Grand Central Station for us. It kept all of our little goodies and keys and all that kind of stuff. And it also kept like all the emergency stuff, like a flashlight and stuff for the dogs and stuff like that. Well, I don't have all those cabinets, because this is our panel for, this isn't a cabinet. This is the panel for operation. So this is where lights come on, security lights,
Let you know how much fuel's in the tanks back there.
Yeah, speaker system. This is also how the slides come in and out and all that kind of stuff. So, like, this isn't storage. Over here is our breaker box. Again, not storage. This is my only cabinet here, and you can see it's crammed full with all kinds of those kinds of things, but it's all different. This is an interesting little area, and I found a solution I kind of like. It's like 3 inches tall, so I found little baskets that we can keep things like the little things we're going to grab before we go out the door in there. Masks, keep a spare light. We use these reading lights, like when, you know, water's dripping from somewhere, or
if you got to go outside at night, yeah.
You can turn this on and you have both your hands. So we love these little reader lights. We have a couple of these, but there's, and they charge with USB, by the way. There's also a flashlight here. See, I'm trying to figure it all out. It's not well organized, but we're figuring it out.
Wow, that's bright.
Then I found these guys for like the remotes and stuff. Extra hand sanitizer, just like little stuff that I would be putting in cabinets. I'm able to put in these baskets. So they fit in there and they slide in there.
More remotes and more. Yep. We got more remotes than we know what to do with.
Yes. But there's a little lip on this cabinet that lets these ride up there. So the pasta sauce fell, but they did not. So there we go. One of the other cool things that we installed.
This is one of my favorite things being a guitar player, is this Marshall amp key holder. It's literally a real 1/4 inch like you would put on the end of a cable to plug in your guitar, only it's a keychain. Right there, see?
And the reason I like it is because we have one of these at home. So we can have our key configuration, and whether or not we are here in the RV or at home, our keys always have a place to plug in. So I like that. Okay, so how about we show you the upstairs? So right at the top of the stairs, we have like our controller for the heat and the air and all that kind of stuff, and that was a doozy figure. It had all that kind of stuff. More light switches, fan switches, and also the
propane sensor.
The propane fuel sensor that Mikey installed.
Which, that right there is okay, but the sensor also has an app that goes on your phone, and that's how I check it out.
The app is more accurate.
Yeah, the app's way more accurate.
Yep. Hanging on this door is all of our winter jackets, because we are in in-between seasons with all the places we're going right now. Eventually these will get put away once we don't need them every other day.
It also takes our aprons and stuff like that from when we take the shows too. So just little handy, the little door hangers and stuff like that really make for handy storage, so we don't have to stuff our closets full.
Yeah. This is the master bath, but we will see it after we do the master bedroom, because one of the changes that we made to, or one of the changes that was made to the fifth wheel was the doorknob used to be on this side, and we moved it over here because if you are in the middle of the night trying to go to the bathroom and have to go over here, you could fall down the steps pretty easily. So having it close to our bedroom makes it so that you can, it's a tighter squeeze whenever you're going in, but it's a little bit better than being right there on the edge of those steps, so you don't accidentally, you know, go boom. Let's go on into the master bedroom. So this room is a lot bigger than we're used to. Even the fact that I can be standing anywhere near the bed is different. This is a master suite, or a king suite, but we decided to have more room and put our favorite queen mattress. And anybody looking for a good RV mattress, I will make sure that's linked in our Amazon influencer shop. This is our favorite mattress it's a memory foam mattress. So we just switched out the king that was in here and put our favorite queen, so we'd have plenty of room to walk around.
And you know what happens when you have a smaller mattress? More snuggling.
So there's also way more storage in here than we were ever used to. We were used to like 2 tiny little cabinet-like closets, and now we have a full closet here, closets all over the place. So much so that we're using it for storage for things other than clothes, because even though we brought tons of clothes, we don't need that much clothes. So come on in. This, I'm not really going to show you tons because it's not real organized, but this is just, this top shelf has room for our red cube cubbies, and so we can put folded clothes up there, and then you can have plenty. This is all hanging clothes from this side of the wall all the way to that side. But we don't need that much hanging clothes, so I put our hangers where we could put folded clothes in here. We have a hamper because our laundry is right behind me, and I'll show you here in a minute. So we have a laundry hamper so we can easily pull laundry whenever we need to do that. So that side's Mikey's. My side is latched because all this stuff has to be latched down when you...
That's the good thing about all this, though, is a lot of it does latch in, so that you don't have to worry about stuff falling out.
Just fell. So I have one of those hangy things too. You can put your shoes in there if you want to, and then cubes up at the top too. So it's really cool.
And then it's also got these little cubbies over here on the side too. Yes. So I mean, that's water bottles, or if you've got medicine bottles.
It's not real pretty. This is where I keep the dog toys when they're not allowed to have them. So dog toys up there, just like remotes and pens and stuff like that. And then on Mikey's side, he has our cabinet where we're keeping a lot of our media stuff. Yeah, you got the battery charging station over there, and then of course I've got gum. We've got some dog treats over there in case I want to give the boys something. There's storage underneath. I've got my CPAP right there. And the cool thing is there is not just a power... Oh, by the way, there's something I installed. This will help. I come up here. I installed this the other day. Look at that. I'll put a little light down there so you can see in the cubby, but it's got a power source there, just a regular plug. And then on the other side, let me move my CPAP out of the way, you have a charging center. So you got USB ports and then a cigarette lighter. We don't smoke, so I don't think we'll use it that much. I think that's so it can be used without being hooked to power. That port can. I just learned something else. That's what those ports are for. Well, good. I don't have to take up smoking then. But plenty of space down there. And of course, like I said, I just installed a little Harbor Freight light down there so that I've got some light, little night light at night if I need to. And then up here, like she said, just regular storage. We've got, look, another foodie grill. And then we also have our photography lights, extra paper towels, extra pans. We don't use that much. But the storage, yeah, there's so much storage. There's a place for everything that we need, more space than we need. But I'm sure for the next few months, it'll probably fill up even more. And then we've got windows on both sides there, so it'll add for like a nice cross breeze, and then another light up there. So there's plenty of light with all the windows that open up. That's one of our favorite things. Yeah. Throughout the whole trailer, windows can be open and let sun in, and then they also can lots of cross, like it's a beautiful day today. So it just feels amazing in here with all the crosswind blowing through. So we love that. We have a window here too, and then this is the TV cabinet again. That's Gilbert, just because Gilbert goes with us everywhere. That's Addie's stuffed animal from when she was a little bitty girl. She was 2. And yes. Gilbert goes with us no matter where we're at. Yes. He just happens to like TV more than we do. Yeah, we have him strapped there so we don't lose him. But this is messy cabinets. I'm not gonna open them up. Just more like office supplies and I don't even know. Just all kinds of stuff. Junk, yeah. Junk in both sides. And then this is just more like clothing that we need, like quick grab clothing. And then we also have the doggy drawer with their backpacks, and then Obi's training diapers and a sling to carry them, and his little cowboy hat. So we'll have to put that on him later. Yes. So this is the doggy drawer. But my favorite thing that we've done my favorite thing, one, about having Harvey, we haven't been calling Harvey by name.
Oh, sorry.
Having Harvey, which is the name of the fifth wheel, is that I have a washer, and I waited to do today's load until you guys got here so we can show you here in a minute. But this is also my my nerd cabinet. So I have all my books and journaling stuff up in here too. But this guy has been such a surprise. It is a washer dryer combo unit, and it is something that we use when we have full hookups. We use just about every day so that we can keep up on our laundry and not have to go to the laundromat. It has been wonderful, and it has performed wonderful. I had a lot of concerns because some people really said, oh, well, it doesn't dry clothes appropriately, or it takes forever. It does take forever. So if you're thinking you're going to do a week's load of laundry in one day, no. I would say maximum for us is what, 2 loads?
Probably, yeah.
Because it takes about 5 hours to go start to finish, because it does wash and dry all in the same thing. But that's the great thing, is we're getting ready to go on a bike ride later today, so I'm going to start it now, and by the time we get back from the bike ride, it'll be done, and I can take my laundry out and fold it and put it away. Okay, so first step is you put a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, depending on how dirty your laundry is, in this little compartment here, and then you can, move my stuff around. Can put about a tablespoon. I don't really measure it with I don't want to get my tablespoon yucky. I just put just a little bit down in this cap and pour it in where the fabric softener goes. It's back here. My tips for people who have one of these is, I think part of what goes wrong for people is they expect it to operate like their home washing machine, and it's just, that's not what it is. It's going to take a really long time, first of all. Second of all, filling it to the top is going to make it take either longer, or it's not going to get your stuff really dry. So I try to keep it about, this is probably about the fullest that I have. I don't know if you can show them.
I don't know if you want to see my underwear. Where's my dirty underwear? Just kidding, that's a towel.
It's about 2/3 full.
Yeah.
So I don't ever fill it fuller than about 2/3 full. Just because I've heard people had so many problems. Now, I've pushed it at 2/3 full and been worried that, and it's done absolutely fine. I've never had, now you know it's going to come out damp this time, just because I said it. But I've never had it come out damp. I've always had it come out clean for me. But all you do is you make sure that door is shut, and you turn your dials. This is your dryer dial, so you can have it completely off, where it would just wash the clothes and not dry them. But I want it to do all the things. So I'm going to set mine to max load, because that's about the largest load that I do. And then I'm going to go over here, because I have a lot of clothes in there. I'm going to put it on heavy, and I'm going to turn it on. Maybe. There we go. And it's already started. And so it will show you here whether it's washing, rinsing, spinning, or drying. Now what I will tell you is it does shake the trailer a lot. Particularly, you feel it when you're in here, but on the back end of the trailer you feel it a lot, because it really is kind of shaking the trailer. What I like to do from us is to just set it before we're about ready to head out, and honestly it really just doesn't even bother me.
Y'all see how the screen's shaking and I'm shaking up and down? Cris is on the other end of the trailer in our bedroom, and she's doing a load of laundry. And when the spin cycle goes on that thing, it's like an earthquake back here. That's annoying.
I mean, I could see how it could bother some people, But I just love the convenience so much. It's kind of like no big deal. It's kind of how I feel. But these clothes, and they just stay like that. And it's, you know, in about 5 hours, I'll have my laundry done and I can put it away. What I will say is, I feel like other than all the different seasonal clothes we had to bring, I do feel a little bit like maybe we brought way too many clothes because our clothes are always washed. Now, when we go boondocking, that's going to be a challenge because I won't be able to use it because it does use water quite a bit. And then also, the way that I've been able to make this work for us is I haven't had to do lots of loads right back to back. I can do about 1 to 2 loads a day. So, how about we go show them the garage? Future Cris, I realized we forgot to stop by the master bath to show you. It's not huge. It's also not it's not super little. There is a cabinet above the toilet, which is where we keep our towels. We got a couple towel racks, and then we have a full-size shower with glass door. Goes like this. Gotta make sure it stays latched when you travel because you don't want that light banging around and stuff. So I try to remember putting it back there when it's not in use so that if I happen to forget it, it will be. But it's like a nice little shower with a light above it. So, nice shower. And then we have the sink with the medicine cabinet and just a regular old sink and another storage cabinet below. Oh, and an OB on the floor hanging out with me while Mikey and Addie do karate. So, I just realized we didn't show you the bathroom. So heading back through the kitchen, Mikey's standing in the kitchen over by the stove. This is our living room piece of the trailer. It's a massive, comfy couch. It's a nice couch and it has recliner legs. We sit here sometimes. I think Mikey probably sits here more than I do. But it's kind of cool to hang out here. You can sit here and watch the TV if that's your thing. It's not real, like it's not ours.
Well, we'll watch a movie or something every once in a while.
Occasionally, yes. We do have a DVD player and we'll do that. Or sometimes if we have really good internet, we might stream something. But usually, you know, we're YouTube people.
And one of the cool things about this couch, I discovered this on the first day we got it. Recliners. And the really cool thing is there's power on this side of the bar, so like if you want to hook up a phone charger or if I want to sit here and work, if I don't want to be in the garage for whatever reason, I can sit here and do my work with a laptop and have it all plugged in and everything. The only thing
I don't like that
is a negative thing about it is if you want to come through, then you gotta drop your legs, let the person through, and then come back up. But because it is a full-size couch, if you want to, you got to kick your shoes off for this, you know. But you can lay right here, and I've got all this room to lay back. I can put a pillow behind my head if I want to rest. If I want to be on that side, I could lay back on the couch and watch a movie, and there's still enough room for somebody else to sit over here. The one thing I will say about us in this RV, with the way we're set up and how many we have in this RV, is we need to put a seat cover on this couch because this is, I guess you call it pleather.
It's a faux leather.
And
I've seen a lot of people who have this particular brand RV have a problem with the seat picking and that kind of thing. And that's why these are on here, is because the seat was already picking. But we have a couch cover we can put on it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that because the boys, you know, when they're, and of course, you know, we keep their even if we keep their nails trimmed or whatever. Especially with a puppy. Puppies like to chew. What do they like to chew on? Everything, including a couch. So we're going to put a cover on that to take care of it. But I'm sitting here right now on this couch.
There's still room for another person.
There's room for another person, and it's a nice, warm, breezy day down here in Galveston where we're at. And the cross breeze is blowing just right where it's blowing from this window to that one. and it feels so good. I don't know we're going to tape for a while because I think I'm going to take a nap right here.
One of the things that I discovered is a solution when you don't have your heater on is to put a rug over the floor vents to keep the sand and dirt from getting down in there. So we have rugs throughout because it just kind of saves the wear and tear of everything. Hey, do you think maybe you could get up so we can do the rest of this?
I guess.
Now, as we're starting to walk back into the garage or our office space, up top, Addie, you want to peek out?
Hello.
Hello, there's Miss Addie's room. She has the entire top floor as her loft. She's got the puppies up there with her right now, so we can tape. There's Obi. There he is. So it is a loft that goes all the way over the width of the trailer, and
You're smacking the camera.
yeah, and this is a little bump out over here that gives her a little bit more room. So
it's an L shape, and it's actually, she's got more room there than she did back in
oh,
in the
absolutely.
vibe, so.
She likes it. And we'll show you a special something her papa added for her here in a minute. But we also have the spice rack that Mikey installed, and it's doing great to keep all of our spices. And I forgot to mention before we leave here, there's also a fireplace.
We're not going to need it today because it's nice and warm down here, but that lights up and it gives a lot of heat. We were in, it got down into the like upper 30s, lower 40s down here in Galveston. We didn't turn on the furnace for a long time because this thing will pump out a lot of heat into the kitchen area.
Yeah.
It's electric, boogie boogie.
Yeah.
And then of course we've got space heaters, and since we've got full hookup with electric, we're going to take full advantage of that, and we were running space heaters that helps us to save on the propane so that in case we're going to need it later, we don't have to worry about stocking up again. But I'm going to show you how much storage we got. This is why I really love that we got this fifth wheel, is because it has tons more storage than that Vibe did. Here we've got the front storage. I really like the fact, we've got to watch that.
Yeah.
That window's open, you can't open this up. We just learned something on our camera. But it's got plenty of storage. Of course, we've got all our totes here. Our water tote is here. Our septic tote is way back on the back side there so that they don't match up. And Cris has even got little stickers, if you see right there, to let us know which one's which. And ladder, all kinds of good storage. There's a light, there's a place for paper towels. We can store a table under here, and that's just this half of it. This, well, that's just nerd stuff. That's all your hydraulic fluid and stuff, because this thing has, well, let me show you.
Addie's favorite thing.
Hydraulic self-leveling system. All I got to do is turn this on, and I can raise up my front jacks, my middle jacks, and my back jacks. That way, when we're ready to like hitch up, I want to raise up the back jacks, and then when that's done, I'll raise up these front jacks so I can raise it up and set it down on the ball for the fifth wheel or for the gooseneck. And then when we take it off, I'll set this down, and then I'll hit auto level, and it'll automatically drop the legs down, and it'll self-level itself. You don't have to do anything except wait for the zing to say that it's level, and then you just shut it off. And I love that.
We don't even have to worry about pads because we put snap pads on there. All the feet.
Yeah, it won't damage anybody's concrete. It works in gravel. Now, if we're in some places where there's a lot of gravel, we might put something down.
Well, we'll show them what we did with the grass back there.
Yes, this is what we're talking about. So if we're going to go onto concrete or gravel or anything like that, I'm not too concerned about the snap pads. But when we get into soil, we want something.
This is sand.
Yeah, this is sandy soil, especially if we get into anything muddy. Instead of just dropping these down, and I know the snap pads are great, but to give a little extra support, her mom and dad made these when they had it down at Camp Ludicrous, and we stole them. And actually, they came with the RV, but these pads are just double wooded, and so it adds a lot more support. That way, if you get into the mud or anything, you don't have to worry about slipping around and everywhere.
I was focused on your feet while you were talking.
Well, I got cute Crocs on. So.
All right. Where's our spare fuel, dear?
Well, we'll get to that. I want to show something else too. On the Vibe, on the old one, the old cow that we had, it had two separate ports for your black tank and your gray tanks. And so you had to crawl under both ends to attach everything, and if the slide out was out, it was a huge pain in the neck. Here, you've got 2 lines that run into one central exit port, if you will.
And I won't be showing them.
No, because that's all gross. But still, it's kind of cool the way that this trailer's set up to make it a lot easier. I've got 2 right under here. There's a black and a gray for your gray tank for your kitchen, and your black tank for, I'm sorry, your gray and your black for like our bathroom.
And the washer.
And the washing machine, which uses a ton of water. So, but that's good that we have a washing machine, because when you run your black tanks, then you want to clean out your hose, you know. So then you run the gray tank, and then all that laundry detergent and everything will clean it out and kind of
sanitize
a lot nicer. Yeah. There's one of those on both sides, and then it comes out one central area. So all we needed was one hose, which is
way
fantastic. A lot better than putting a puzzle together.
Yes.
And then you come to the back.
A poo puzzle.
And I don't think, this is, no, it's not. We're good. No, it is. It's locked. Here we have our own little gas station, if you will. This is for fuel for the generator, and you have a primary tank, and then you have a reserve tank. So we can hold up to 60 gallons of gasoline in the bottom of our RV. That way we're on the road. Let's say we want to boondock for, well, until we run out of water, which is another cool thing I'll tell you about in a minute. We've got up to 60 gallons of fuel to run our generator, so that we've got continuous power whenever we need it. If we ever go out to like the deserts, maybe to some free land to stay on, like from the Bureau of Land Management, then we're able to go out there and run for days without needing to fuel up, to need water, because the old water tank that we had on our Vibe was like 30 gallons. This one holds, I think it's 127 gallons of water, which will run us for days, as long as we don't run.
We're not gonna do the washer,
machine.
yeah.
But if we go back to conserving water by, doing dishes, doing a big load of dishes at one time, and then using water sparingly, like with the bathrooms and washing hands and stuff like that, then we can go for days and days on end without having to worry about going and fueling up or getting water anywhere. And then right here, this is just the emergency shutoff. And then this was a pill to learn how to use, because the old 30 amp cable that was on the Vibe, super light, it stored inside the compartment, inside the Vibe. This does not. You've got to unscrew this and then twist this off, and then the cable itself is about 25 feet, and it probably weighs about 25-30 pounds. It's super heavy, because it's a super heavy gauge to handle 50 amps. But this pretty much is the outside, except for when, and this is the cool story that I want to tell, because the lady holding the camera was like, we don't need a fifth wheel, okay, for the longest time. And I'm like, I would love more storage. I'd love if we're going to go out for longer durations. We've done 4 to 5 months inside a small RV, and it got a little cramped towards the end, So if we had a little more space, it would be great. And then, and we went back and forth on this forever, just kind of weighing the pros and cons. And then Cris came on board, and she's like, I do want a fifth wheel, because we are going to go out on longer trips for longer durations for a lot of time. And then it's like she felt like she had to convince me of getting a fifth wheel, which all she had to say was, hey, we're getting a fifth wheel. And I was like, cool. But she thought that she had to spruce up the deal a little bit, So when we talked about it, she goes, I'm not just getting you a fifth wheel, honey. I'm getting you a fifth wheel with a stage. This is probably my favorite spot on the whole RV right here. This right here, because this is a toy hauler RV. This back here can be used as a garage, a separate bedroom. We use it as an office. I use it for a place to entertain off of, like when the weather's not that good. I can go in there if I want to practice and not annoy everybody. I can go back here and play my guitar and not have to worry about bothering anybody. Watch movies back here, have a few drinks back here. It's just a great place. But when the weather's great, like it is today down here in Galveston, this is where I want to be, because it's a stage. It's a ramp, so we can drop down when we want to put the bikes back in here. We've got a place to do that. And then today, this is going to be my fishing spot. As you see, we've got it set up over the lagoon where we're staying. And I heard rumors there's good fish in there. All I know is there's a bunch of things that are stealing my bait right now, but I'm going to catch me a fish before we leave. But not only can this be used as a fishing area or an outdoor entertaining area or just a nice deck to let the dogs run around on, enjoy the beautiful views, but this is also where Addie and I do our karate, because we're still taking classes even though we're on the road. Fortunately, our dojo is allowing for virtual classes right now. One, because of the cooties, and two, because they want to keep us as students as much as we want to keep being trained by them because they're so good. This is big enough for one of us at a time to practice our karate safely and have enough space to do what we need to do. So she bought me a stage / office. It is an office because I'm off fishing over here. It's an area to go fishing. It's a great place to just kick back and relax. And if you want to sit outside a lot, this is a place to do it. And you can sit outside with your dogs and not have to worry about them running around. And now welcome to my office.
Our office, dear.
The whole back portion of this RV is a toy hauler. So this is a small garage. It's about an 8x8, 8x9 section of the RV, which is a huge area. And when you have big areas, but you're still traveling a lot, you want to make sure and be able to use that area for as much as you possibly can, especially when it's this big. So, closing this off, what we did in order to keep it warm in here in the winter is we installed one of these. We had two of these in the Vibe and it really helped. This is a convection style heater, so it just goes up against the wall and it pulls the cool air up and heats it up, blows it out the top, and it stays nice and warm. It's right under Addie.
Because one thing people might not tell you, even though toy haulers have beds and stuff in them, is the heating is not usually duct back into the back room, so it can be really cold. This little vent right here, it's covered right now, but this little vent right here is the only source of heat for this back room. So that heater has been a game changer.
And along with that, if it's really cool, like this past weekend, it got really cold down here. It got down into the 30s at night, only in the 40s during the day. We have this heater over here going on, and then we also had a small space heater so that we could be back here for when we would do meetings for work, or if I'm editing videos, or if I want to go fishing. This is the really cool thing, is if we have the deck down and I'm fishing, I can see out that back window in case sometime, maybe if I get lucky, that maybe a fish might be on. It hasn't happened yet, but I can sit in here and watch my poles and not be
pampered fisherman, huh?
Yes, this thing has completely pampered us. But the really cool thing about this area, we don't have toys as far as like four-wheelers or anything, but it holds our bikes while we're traveling. And also, as you can see, we've got it set up now as a meeting area. So if I'm here, I've got my dual laptops, and I'm able to edit videos. We had our meeting here today. If she wants to come back here and work and work on the blogs, then she can do that from back here. This is also the area where I entertain online. So if you guys do see the lives for the music, right now I'm not able to do a full setup like I want to, because we're doing that off of the Wi-Fi in whatever park we're in. And the park we're in is a great park. It's a beautiful park. It's very well kept. You've got the Gulf on one side, we have our own private lagoon on the back, but the Wi-Fi down here is not that reliable, so I'm not able to do the live shows like I want to, where I can dually transmit to Facebook and YouTube or Instagram or anywhere like that. The only way I can do it is on my phone, but I can do it from back here again, so Addie can do her thing up there, Cris could be doing her thing, reading books or watching TV or whatever she wants to do, and I can be back here entertaining everybody in this area. This is also where I've been writing music, and when it's really nice out, I go out there and do it on the back. But this is it's got great storage. There's a lot of room to have a lot of versatility for either work or play, and then also it's got more storage than you think it does, because we are a family of 3 plus 2 dogs and a cat, but still we're 3 people. This RV will sleep, I think, up to 9 or 10 people, with the bedroom, the couch, the loft up here, and then it's got a place for bunk beds. And these bunk beds, we use it as storage because, well, we're not stuffing that many people up there, so why not bring My guitars. I brought 3 guitars. Now before, all I could do was bring 1, possibly 2, but I've got 3 different guitars that I can bring when I want to do shows. I've got a MIDI keyboard here that I can use for recording and things like that, and then there's also plenty of space still up there to store like drinks and things like that. And then when we don't need it, all I got to do is just raise it back up. So you raise that back up, it's out of the way, it's high enough that hopefully you don't bang your head up there. If I mess up, oh, that's a curtain right there. I messed up today and I brought this down because I wanted to put some of my guitar stuff away and I forgot to bring it up. And Cris cranked her head on that metal thing right there, so you got to make sure to raise it up higher for the people that are prone to bang their heads on things. But then also up at the top, there's also another level, which is what's making this bunk beds. And that's where we keep like our t-shirt making materials and stuff like that. Just extra storage for stuff we're not going to use all that much. It's a bunk bed, so we're going to use like 2 levels of storage. Like we've got 2 giant 8-foot wide shelves. It's fantastic for what we're doing. So this is our garage.
There's a couple things that have made it a little bit more useful for us too. So of course we have our chairs that we brought over from the Vibe. We also brought these cubes over from the Vibe. They are like they have Addie's books in them, and then also I keep like that electric heater that Mikey was talking about is in his cube over there. We have this that Papa installed for Addie so she could have a permanent ladder. Behind it is like our dog storage stuff. It travels differently than it is set up right now, but this is how to keep everything out of our way. But this is a permanent ladder, and then she has another exit to make it a little bit safer for her to be up there. So
yeah, there's Ollie right there.
Yeah, hi Ollie. So if there was a fire or anything like that, she has 2 exits, and there's a door right behind Mikey. She can get out that way, or she can get out the other way.
Or she can get out the back door. Because the main thing, no matter what, no matter where we travel, safety is our main concern. Whether it's where we travel, knowing our surroundings, or, sometimes things happen. If something was to catch on fire, my main concern is to make sure that, the family is safe. And, we were a little apprehensive about having that as Addie's place where she's always going to be if the only way out was to...
A ladder that could fall.
Yeah, a ladder that could fall, or, for convenience sake, it was a ladder that was going to be in the way with the doorway. And the cool thing about having Chris's dad is, I've told you this before, her dad can build anything, and it's sturdy and safe. And he's not going to do it unless it's completely perfect and right. And then he goes and he builds this ladder and then makes a porthole up there for her so that she can go up and down, have her own private bathroom, have her own private area back here. And then safety-wise, she's got 3 different ways of getting out of this trailer.
So this is just a half bath. So she has her own bathroom in the morning, which is nice for a teenager. And then speaking of bathrooms, one of the struggles that we immediately had is the Vibe had this awesome place where we could keep Skitty's litter box completely out of the way and secure so it didn't dump over, because I can't, like, cat litter dumped in a trailer, I can't. So we had struggled for weeks and weeks and weeks trying to figure out what to do about Skitty's litter box. And so this is our solution. It is actually a cabinet that is made for litter boxes. It has a door with a hole in it. We're not going to show you the litter box because that's gross, but Skitty can go in and out of this door and get into his litter box. And then we just put a mat here. I was really afraid about litter tracking, but he really hasn't. We have a mat that catches anything. It's a high-lipped litter box, so he really has to step to get out of it anyways. And so we really just haven't had a problem. It also gives me a place to put Skitty's food and water out of the reach of the dogs, because the dogs always want to eat Skitty's food. I'm not sure why. These bowls are really nice. They are, I don't know if you can tell how they're uneven, and they're made out of silicone, I think. Mm-hmm. And so it
keeps things from spilling.
Yeah,
really
they don't tip. Now, I wouldn't travel with them up here, but if it was on the ground, it's not going to spill during travel.
So that's our...
And if you look really close there, hanging on the door...
is the Carb Corner.
Yeah, that's the Carb Corner. Because we're very strict low-carb family around here. Well, Cris is, but, you know, Addie and I, we like to have our carbs. So, like, if we want chips with a sandwich, or if Addie wants cereal in the morning, or if I might want to sneak a cookie at some part of the day, we have a place for it. And
the contraband.
Yeah, this is the Contraband Corner for things like if we want to treat or something like that. So
no, and we have another one of these. We're still working on this little area right here, but we have another one of these little guys for Addie's cleaning supplies, and then Addie's brush and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's just finding ways, even if when you're in something this big, if you're in it for a long period of time, you want to make sure that you've got a storage solution. I'm
sure things are going to change because we're so new to it.
This is new to us, so I'm like, I've got a tool bag over there. That's going to have to go somewhere. But there's also another storage compartment underneath the garage. It's a smaller storage compartment, but it's another place where we could store tools and things like that. But for how we've been doing this now for, a little over a week?
Right. I thought you were meaning RV living.
Well, RV living, we've been doing this for like 3 years on and off between living in an RV and living in a home.
We're in our fourth.
We're going into our fourth year on this. This is totally new because it is bigger. But even when something's bigger, it's still not as big as your house. No. And so you still have to learn
It's not only that. You also have to be like, this room will be completely different, more than any of the others, whenever we actually travel.
Yeah.
Because our bikes fold up and they go in here. This table folds up and goes against the wall. Everything shifts so that things don't get broken and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So this room is set up for how we use it when we're staying somewhere.
When we're traveling, when we left the house to come down here to Texas, it was packed to the brim. The good thing is, being a garage, I mean, it's set up to hold like 1,500 pounds because you're going to drive like four-wheelers or a motorcycle or what are the ATVs like your dad has, like a Gator or something like that. And that it's made to store in here. In fact, you can see like right there next to the dog bowl, you've got these battens, I guess you want to call it, so that you can strap down your play toy, whatever it is, whether it's a ATV or a bike or whatever it is. But it allows, again, an almost 8 by almost 9 foot section. It stores all of our stuff back here, like Cris said, our bikes, any extra chairs, anything that we want to take down off the walls. We're gonna put it. By the way, do you hear those birds? I don't know what those birds are called, but they're the weirdest. We call them
the radio birds.
Yeah, they sound like a staticky radio. They're weird. But this is our garage / office / stage / fishing area / karate dojo.
Yeah,
it's so
and that's
versatile.
why ultimately we ended up going with something bigger, is because, well, our lives are a little bit different than they were 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We also know exactly the kind of content, and 4 years ago you weren't doing as much music as what you're doing now. So we had to have the ability to do the music, the space to do the music, and then also we have, we know what kinds of vlogs and stuff we like to do. We also have a teenager now and not just a little girl. So we need some space for that, for her to have the things that she wants, her skateboards over there. And then also we have 2 dogs, not just one. And so there's lots of reasons, but this gives us the space to produce the content that we love, all the different kinds of content.
And not be so cramped up.
Yeah.
And y'all, we love it. And it's a 5th wheel. It drives as good, if not better, than the Vibe did on the tow behind. Everybody says once you drive a 5th wheel, it's like completely life changing. Yeah. And I drove it almost 1,200 miles to come down here, and it was actually easier driving than the Vibe was. So it's a lot heavier. Of course, we've got a bigger, heavier duty truck that can handle that. Got it down here safely.
It's just 2 different ways. I mean, to me, in a lot of ways, in a lot of ways, trying to compare the two is like comparing tent camping to a tow-behind trailer. Like, they're both technically camping. You use a lot of the same things, but it is a much different kind of thing. And I would say I'm kind of surprised at how different it has been for us. it's weird. It's like having an apartment with you instead of just a little space. But I do not regret those days. I love those days. I love.
Oh no, it got us out on the road. Yeah.
Yes, and so I don't think we would have ever made this type of investment had we not experienced all those things to know what we needed to make things work.
Right.
So I mean, I would love. I see all the beautiful things on Pinterest and all the other RV sites and stuff like that, but the truth of the matter is that some of those fancy situations don't fit what we needed. We needed this space, even though this is like very what am I trying to say, open and not really all that determined. That's what we need, because we need this space to play like 5 different roles, and so that's what happened. And so
that's how we roll.
That's how we roll. Harvey, what is it? The rest of our story?
Yeah, that's the rest of our story. That's why we got a 5th wheel, and we named him Harvey, and we love it. We love it.
Oh, the washer's going now.
Oh, yeah, if you can't tell, it's that's what it does. That's how it rolls.
Hey, I love it.
I do too, because I've got more clean underwear now.
And we all can be happy about that. Bye, guys.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon link below.